friends. Welcome to Talking to Fantasy. Fuck it. Ain't no reason to even bother. I can barely tolerate this anymore. It requires so much non-stop frustration tolerance from me that I can barely tolerate it anymore. Hi, Harrison. I'm exhausted, I don't have any Adderall, it's raining, I've got the biggest week of my life coming up in terms of activities to have to accomplish. I don't want to do any of them. I have to do all of them. I know I'm being a baby, but I am a baby. Babies shouldn't have to do this kind of stuff. I can't even fucking live stream properly unless it's light outside. Because there are no installed lights in this room and there are no lamps left. And I can't move this someplace else because it's too far away from the Wi-Fi. Well, I could go stream into the back house, but there's literally nothing in the back house. There are lights, overhead lights, but it's pouring rain. Which I like normally, but not right now. This needs to be over now. I literally could not hate something any more than I hate this. Didn't somebody buy our house, and didn't we buy somebody else's house? Why am I fucking still sitting here? Thank God for Cameron. Brought over these more comfortable and usual folding chairs for us to sit in. And these little pads to lie on. Oh, God. It's like being in jail or something. It's fucking horrible beyond all recognition. I'm not cut out for this at all. I need stupid stuff to not move so that I can pay attention to smart stuff. I need stupid stuff to not be in control of my life. And it's got complete mastery over every single second of it now. Stupid stuff that doesn't matter. Stupid, irrelevant stuff that only idiots care about. Is occupying every fucking second of my life. It's complete fucking torture. Like, how could it possibly be, when I made it clear from the very beginning to everybody that the number one priority was that I move out of this house on one day and into that house on the next day, that nobody made that happen? How can it be that we're closing on a Friday and moving in on a maybe Wednesday? This has been the worst prolonged experience in my life. And the reason is because it's been the only experience that I can gain no narrative mastery over. I can, because nothing stays still, I cannot come to terms with anything. I can't set up this space to be how I want it to be because I'm leaving here. But those things need to be instant, right? Like, when I move my shit out of here, I'm gone. Not, I'm still here for weeks and weeks and weeks. I know in a month everything will be fine, that boy Klaus. But now is not a month from now. And I don't know how anybody does this at all, and how anything could possibly be structured so fucking stupidly. Obviously, if I'm going to sell my house, obviously, if I'm a normal person at all, I'm going to have to sell my house before I buy a new house. Obviously, no one can live in a staged house. I mean, you have to be quite well off to move. It's like this process needs to go faster. There's absolutely no reason that any sane human being can come up with why Rachel and I can't just go move into that house right now. They're going to pay us on Friday. We're going to pay them as soon as we can, the instant we are able to. Like, what are the possibilities after all of this that if they were to just let us go move in there right now, that would turn out we'd be squatters? No, I'm not too scared to eat them. I'm too frustrated not to eat them. Even though it's a bad idea to eat them. I couldn't sleep, of course. I got like a 7-hour nap or something, or a 6-hour nap. And then I got up and started pacing around and tried to watch anime. Can't even enjoy good shows because I'm not here to enjoy anything. I shouldn't be here at all. I have a bunch of stuff I gotta do tomorrow. So I can't eat mushrooms tomorrow. So I just ate them tonight after my long nap. The only thing I could do. I need more sleep, and I'm getting less sleep. With or without speed. Doesn't matter. I got a cold. I got a cold yesterday. The problem is, every time I try to do anything that makes me happy, no, I mean, they haven't even kicked in at all. They probably won't even do anything at all. I was this way exactly this way before I ate a single one of them. I'm hoping they'll cheer me up a bit. Because I don't have anything I need to do right now. But it wasn't until I was saying how stupid it was that you couldn't do that it occurred to me that I probably could. The thing is, I don't even want to take possession of it for right now. I can't take possession of it right now. I still have too much shit to do this week. I can't leave until Friday, until after my mom's memorial service. I've got to prepare the obit and all the pictures for it because there's a deadline at 6 p.m. today. Additionally, I got this morning to take the cats. Trouble for the first time to take them ever anywhere in cat carriers. Oh God. To the vet so she can look at them and then to just glance at them and then prescribe me Tranks for them. This huge hassle. Like, can I just send you photos or a film of me interacting with my cats or something? No. I mean, the amount of time we're talking about between is nominal, right? Remember, Eric's the hugest baby in the world. I already have a solution to this. We're just gonna have to board the cats for 4 days or something while we stay in a hotel down here. What makes the most sense. The pods will be in Fresno by that point and waiting for us to call for them to bring it to Mariposa. I don't want it to arrive at the same time we do anyway. I'm not ready for it immediately. We don't need the stuff in the pod to live up there. We're buying a fully furnished house, and also if we truly need, we'll take with us in luggage. It's just that I just don't like this. I don't like it at all. I've been practicing hating this house and wanting to get the fuck out of here for months. And I'm just so tired of it. I'm just feeling like I just want to cry about it. I hate it so much. Like the kind of tasks I had to do all week, right? I hate every single one of them so much. I have to gather pictures of my dead mother, as many as 250, but as minimum of no minimum, for them to make a slideshow up, right? I gotta then write an obituary of her, which is the sort of thing that's hard, it's like, it deserves a lot of attention. I don't have any attention for it because of this stupid shit. I gotta do this thing that I do not know how I'm going to accomplish yet this morning. Get these 2 cats into the cat carrier. And I can't even begin working on my mom's shit, as far as I'm concerned, until I'm done with the cats and the vet. Then I'll come back here and try to throw together some fucking pictures. Write an obit for a mother I haven't mourned yet because of this shit. Announce her death and her memorial on Facebook in the same post because of this shit. Rachel can't do anything. You are fooling yourself at that point, Klaus. I can maybe get Rachel too. It's one of the reasons why I woke up so depressed. I'm finally sleeping well. Okay? For the first time in God knows how long. And the cats keep meowing. Because Rachel can't do that. She can't fix a problem, It's not her thing. She does not know how to deal with anything that's a problem that requires any fucking TE at all. You keep that cat in there, you keep this cat in here, you feed them both in their respective places. Like, I can't even fucking fed this one. I'm trying to sleep. I don't need noisy problems you can't solve. She can't close a fucking bag of chips. she has this horrible habit that she's going to have to change immediately. It bugged me since the very first time I saw it. She leaves bags of chips open, even though obviously all the chips immediately get stale when you do that. And that is one thing that's not cute at all, and she is going to have to fucking change that. You cannot leave bags of chips open. How can a 38-year-old woman still leave bags of chips open? Okay, yeah, that's how. You've correctly analyzed it, that boy Klaus, but I don't know, she does it often. So maybe every time it's that one, it's that, but. And you just, yeah, and then I just go pick up a bag of chips and throw it in the trash. Of course, this full bag of chips. Because it's been open all night, you know? And they're all garbage now. No, they all get stale instantly, is what happens if you leave a bag of chips open. Am I the only person who's eaten chips before? People are worried about bugs getting in there. Poorly textured chips. What happens if you leave a bag of chips open? The whole bag of chips gets instantly stale. I gotta go smoke a cigarette. But my shirt does cheering me up a little bit. That's good. Well, at least I'm insightful on mushrooms and nothing else. I don't hate this house. I don't hate being here. I hate a state of flux. And because I'm bipolar and I do not like negative emotions, I try to try to find somebody to blame, you know, or something to blame that's not me hating the state of flux. So Leaning one against the wall. Let's see what I have against the wall. I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. Oh, stay on this equals 4 texture. Okay. You're forgiven at that point, Bob. Another issue is this intermediate status shit, right? Like, feeling like I feel right now, for as long as I felt right now, normally I would just smoke in the house. I smoke in my house. But this isn't my house anymore. But then I realized, again, Eric, the problem's not anything specific. It's the fact that it's that you don't like. It's that statuses aren't determined. There's nothing has a clear status, you know? It's got these intermediate state change statuses. And therefore you can't do anything. You can't do anything until the statuses are resolved. You can't solve any problems. You can only wait and mitigate problems until you get to the new place where you can actually do things that solve problems. Everything I'm doing now is just avoiding problems or getting things done, but not solving any problems, you know? I can't solve any of my problems here. Why am I sitting in the dark room? Because the alternative is to set things up well here. You know, I could set things up well here, but why would I direct any energy towards that right now? Even with what I have, I could, in the pod, I get to think that beautifully here, but it's in the pod for a reason. It was in the pod so that they could just take out all of my parents' stuff and stage the house. Now it's in the pod because obviously I'm not going to bring it back inside, remove into this house for 4 days, and then remove out of this house for 4 days. You know, that would be, even I'm not that dumb. So, it helps me feel less frustrated when I understand better why I'm frustrated. It's helpful when I have even any statuses that don't move at all. Like, we definitely are leaving here on Friday no matter what. So, I can do some things, I can plan some things accordingly, like don't move back into here, but live here. Right, yeah, on Friday. We have to. Like, nobody would schedule things like this on purpose, right? we we have to. We have to get super early Friday morning, finish moving out of this house, repack the pod before the pod people come pick it up. They're not going to tell me what time they're going to pick it up until Thursday night. And my mom's memorial service is at noon. Obviously, I've done a poor job of planning. Although I think I just have I think I just had a brilliant idea, which is sometimes it takes me so long to figure out such simple stuff with tea stuff. We're gonna check into the hotel Thursday night instead of Friday night. Yay! A solution. Oh, we can take our time Thursday doing everything that I was trying to squeeze into Friday morning. Now, we could even take the cat to the boarding place a day early. Doy, Eric. These are the kind of doy things that happen all the time right now. There's just too many things to think about. No wonder my dad was always so stressed out. Being a TE Dom's a nightmare. Especially with SI Tool. The thing is, he's only stressed out at the end, to be honest. But he was always, he always had a bit of a depressive side to him. I mean, you have to if you're constantly worried about what could go wrong with real estate deals, which my dad did multiple. No wonder you're depressed. You're doing real estate deals and property management. Yeah, I would smoke a cigarette just right here, except I don't think of this as my house anymore. Although I sure got back to the best quickly. We're just squatters. We're just squatters who are going to be sane, probably, and this hotel must think we're the dumbest people in the world. We cannot figure out when we want to stay at that hotel and when we don't. We just checked out of that hotel on Sunday. Sunday morning. That's what I got Rachel for her birthday. I'm thinking I want to get her for her birthday. Her birthday's tomorrow, today. So, good news, Rachel. We're just gonna check back into that hotel for a full week. And then we might need to add one more day. Depending on what happens with real estate. We should just forget it. We just fuck the possibility that anything other than what's going to happen is going to happen. That's how you get rid of this torture in part. Is you just reject the good possibility and behave as though the bad possibility is going to happen. You know. How is this going? What are the days this is going to happen? It doesn't matter which one you pick to reject, to plan off of. It's always the wrong one. You always get answers like, well, it's either the 23rd or the 26th. Okay, well, just, I guess I'll behave as though the 26th. Sure enough, it'll be the 23rd, guarantee. The best way to make the outcome you want to happen. It's also always like, well, it's either the 21st, the 23rd, or the 25th, maybe. How can anybody plan or anything when you won't tell me when things are going to happen until I find out? This is why I keep kicking myself, because I had the chance to plan this better. I should have counter-offered that offer we took with the exact same offer, but with an 11-day escrow. I just realized I didn't even need a 13-day escrow. Don't do their work for them. Make them close on Saturday. That's their problem instead of mine. Yeah. No, I was in a terrible mood when I started this stream. But I had just eaten all the rest of the mushroom dough. And I just hoped I feel better. A little bit better. Because this is not a bad time to eat mushrooms. Right now. I am not trying to get anything done right now. I can't get anything done right now because it's the middle of the night. It's raining outside. I don't have any plans to get anything done for the duration of eating mushrooms. Like, a bad time to eat mushrooms was the last time I live streamed because I was, in fact, in the middle of doing things prior to live streaming. Prior to eating mushrooms, which of course, I did several things after I'd eaten them, and then I got super frustrated, and I came and started live streaming, oh man, because I'm such an idiot. I forget that don't eat mushrooms when you have to do things. They're not going to make those horrible things fun. They're going to make you mad. It's like, but I don't want it to work that way. I want the mushrooms to make the horrible things I have to do fun. Wow. Mushrooms and I had this fight over and over and over again. Finally, after getting beaten up by mushrooms on this point, I said, okay, fine. You will not make boring things fun. Instead, you will make me throw mushroom tantrums. I can't, Boba Fett. You know how bad I am at picking times to eat mushrooms? You're just as bad at picking times for me to be buying guitars. I can't direct any attention to any doing stupid sensory stuff. Not even one speck of it more than I have already directed towards all the other stupid doing things I have to do. It's one thing INFJs, they like to buy things. I'm not complaining about it because it's a money spending thing. It's more like, for Rachel intuited that I'd be mad at it before I did. She probably couldn't exactly explain the reason. The reason is this. Will you stop inviting objects into our house? Objects are horrible. I don't like buying things because I don't like buying things that disappear because I've eaten them, smoked them, whatever. Right? Good objects disappear after you buy them because you've consumed them. Bad objects gather up around you, making mess and clutter. Yeah, horrible, horrible objects. Objects are not good. Objects are those things that constantly cause me problems. Some objects you have to have and you want to have, like a guitar and an amp. That's two objects I do need to get. Unfortunately, I have to buy a guitar and an amp. I say unfortunately because it's take me a long time to get around to buying it, number one, because I hate buying objects, number two, and number three, it takes me an unreasonably long amount of time to buy expensive objects, no matter how much I need them or how easily I can afford them. This is the first time that second condition's ever been the case, so but it won't change how I deal with them. I hate buying things. Buying things sounds to me like either you have to go somewhere and wait in line, or you have to go online and figure out how to get what you want, and you get it probably won't even be what you want, like when I bought this stupid fucking light bulb. Same with online. If I'm gonna buy something, I want it to disappear. Like a streaming service, right? Like, I buy it, that's fine, and then I close my computer and it disappears. You know? That's a good object. Good objects disappear when you buy them. Bad objects stay around. Like, I bought you, I didn't even invite you to live with me. You know? Which is a great joke. Bad objects don't seem to get that. I bought you. I didn't invite you to live with me. You know? Unless they're my clothes and you're living with my ESFJ wife, ex-wife, my clothes would just disappear. What happened to that? Yeah. I have no idea what you're talking about. And the answer was, I didn't like it and threw it away. And it's like, she executed this plan over the course of years of slowly throwing away my clothes that she didn't like. Without asking me. What's also funny is that because I don't waste my attention thinking about stupid things, in part of that reason, I guess, like where that article of clothing went, you know? Unless I want it for a reason, like it's cold, where did my jacket go, you know, like that is fine, but I wonder what happened to that shirt. I really like that shirt. Well, I guess I must have lost it or something. It took me almost to the end of our marriage to figure out that's what she was doing. I just think it's funny. It occurs to me now. I didn't care really, you know, it didn't matter that much to me, obviously, but that while she seemed shockingly unable to get any of my important reasons and why they were important. I bet if I had said to her, "You threw out my clothes without asking me," she would have been like, "Oh, you really got me. Oh, shit." You know, all the good reasons you just were like, pew, 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 pew. It's jargon here. Yeah, right. The problem with the mom remember though is that we're in a period of state change. It's mostly a bad idea to try to solve any problems here. It keeps driving me crazy. We're here right now, I keep forgetting this too, for the cats, not for us. Otherwise, this whole thing would be a billion times easier. Also, though, if it weren't for these fucking cats, we would not end up in the house we want. Ironically. We would have had, because if it weren't for the cats, we would have just done what sane people do. Sell this house, stay in a hotel until you figure out which house you want to buy, and then buy it cash for it into escrow. The reason I am having so much torture, I keep forgetting. In fact, I constantly forget this. There's one reason I'm experiencing all this torture, is that we have 2 cats. Cats are the most powerful creatures in the world. The cats are so much more powerful than human beings. It's unbelievable. These 2 cats, without having to do anything, made this entire real estate deal happen. I keep crediting David or Dean. That's the genius of cats. I should be crediting the cats. Oh yeah, well, this is racially related. People can accuse us of lots of things. Whatever, some of them true, some of them false, whatever. And what nobody who is not completely insane could possibly accuse us of is not loving our cats. We do love our cats a lot. That's why this whole thing is so torturous, because in part, I cannot stand the idea of boarding the cats. They're gonna hate it. They're gonna hate it so much. Capito's gone through it before. I'm not worried about her really. Trouble, I'm very, I worry about this. angry meows that I'm going to get. Oh my God. He's going to be so mad at me. He's going to feel so betrayed. Sophia's a very good kitty. But Trouble's not a cat. Trouble's some species that doesn't exist. Called a trouble. He's part dolphin, part elephant, part human and part dog. And not at all a cat. But he's going to be so mad at me. And who could blame them? I'm mad at me too. He put this whole thing together, and as a reward, I'm making him stay in a cage for like 5 days or something. Good thing it's relatively easy for me to forget about the cats. Because if I think about them, about Trouble, especially being at the boarding place, they're gonna get it, man. They're gonna get it every morning. They're gonna get it non-stop barrage of angry meows. And as they try to go anywhere near him, you're gonna scratch the shit out of them. I don't even know if I accept them at the cat boarding place. Might have to pay them extra. That's how to tell the vet, and I'm going to tell the cat boarding place, which I should have already gone to. And then, this cat is nothing but trouble. That's why he's named Trouble, okay? So, whatever you think you're going to get away with him, this is not a normal cat. I know you guys are experts, you see a million cats and everything. But you've not met Trouble before. By the time I go pick up the cats, he'll be the receptionist. And the receptionist will be in a cage. Guarantee you. Oh, I know he's gonna poop right on my head when I'm sleeping afterwards. I'm gonna apologize to him. I'm sorry you had to poop on my head to punish me for failing you so badly. Can I wipe your butt for you? He's like, no, I'm just gonna wipe it right on your face. Okay, well, I guess I deserve it. Of course, because this experience has been so horrible for me, I have been absolutely horrible. As I'm live streaming, my live stream has become increasingly just alternate peaks of, fuck yeah, I'm on mushrooms rich in a hotel. And now listen to me complain forever. Or, yeah, nobody wants to watch either of those kind of live streams, of course, because they're both terrible. I said, do you have to be so condescending all the time? No, I don't, and I should not be condescending any of the time. But I am constantly, and it's something I'd like to fix. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to fix it entirely without ceasing to be me, but I could do a much, much better job of tone management than I currently do, and would like to do a better job of it. Right now, I'm live streaming for 2 reasons only. I'm on mushrooms and I feel like it, or I'm on mushrooms and I feel like it. The only difference is sometimes it's a good decision, occasionally, like right now, but almost every other time it's a terrible decision. Right now it's a good decision because I did mushrooms for the right reason in the right context. I did them to make me feel better, not to make something boring fun. And I did them when I have nothing to do, and I can't do anything. There are a couple of things I could and should do, but I know already I'm not going to do them right now. I'm not going to do them until after the vet, so I'm not worried about it. And I know why now that I've been putting this off, too, which is nice. Because my mom's memorial deserves a lot more attention than I'm going to give it ultimately. And I am terrible at burying people. Sorry. You picked the wrong guy to be in charge of your ceremonies. You should have put Delilah in charge of that. I am not the person who does that very well. It's like, because I can't, it's like, how do you write an obituary for your own mother? It's not super gay. And you just don't. You just can't. It's just an impossible task to begin with. How do I write a reasonable length thing conveying my mother's life? I mean, it's just, only an ESTJ would think that that's a good idea to even attempt that. ESFJs would just go on and on with a bunch of specific instances of stuff that the person did in their life. But also include their relationship statuses that they've had. She had a rich life. She had 8 husbands, 12 children. She'll tell you the names of all of them. Neither of which are even sane possible means of conveying the totality of a person's life. The photo slideshow is a much better idea, but again, I'm the wrong person to put in charge of it. I mean, I know I'm their son, so I'm the most logical person to put in charge of it. Like, I mean, I know I've inherited the right to be in charge of it, but they should have put Cameron in charge of it. Tyler doesn't want to do it, but she'd do a good job. They should have put Cameron in charge. I should have put Cameron in charge of it. Why are they? Why are they in charge of their funeral after they're dead? I'm in charge of it. I should have put Cameron in charge of it. Well, too late now. Now the deadline's Monday and I haven't done anything. Like, why do dead people think they get to say how they're buried? Once they're dead, their wishes shouldn't matter anymore. Like, the whole concept of wanting to be buried a certain way is just insane. You're dead. You won't be there. It's like, they say they want to be buried that way so they can picture now how their funeral's going to look like. Why are you thinking about your funeral right now? Unless you're on your deathbed or something, then I understand you thinking about it. Why are you thinking anything about it other than, fuck, I'm going to die? Why are you caring what it looks like after you're dead? Well, these kind of flowers, and I want this kind of thing. Why do you want to force your relatives to make living people's experience one way when you have absolutely nothing to do with it? You're the one person who cannot possibly have anything to do with it. The only person who definitely will not experience any of this is, for some reason, the only person who has any say over it. That doesn't make any sense at all. Alright? It doesn't make any sense at all to want to be buried any particular way. Boba Fett, do you not get the fact that right now, every single object, no matter how precious it is to me, is a problem? My precious Tiffany is locked in the pod. That's how much every object, no matter how small and easy to transport, like Tiffany, is a problem right now. No matter how much it's a good thing. This TV is a problem for me right now. Because, remember, I don't live here, I don't live at the hotel, and I don't live there. So every single object is continually a problem until I live there. That's why I don't have my guitar out, because I don't live here. No, I'm not disagreeing with you that I should get a guitar. I'm disagreeing with you that I should get one already, is what you said. I should get one later, not now. Now is different from later. The key thing is, I definitely should not get a X now. I had to talk to Rachel about this as well. Will you stop ordering fucking packages to a house we do no longer own? I don't care that you're buying these things. It's not money, right? It's you're having packages delivered to a house that's not ours. Remember, real estate requires us to behave according to one or two statuses while concurrently refusing to tell you that you're either of them. And I don't mind the objects she's purchasing because she wears them in their clothes. So clothes don't take up much space and she can organize her clothes fine. I'm not worried about her making a mess with her object. She's not buying things like decorative shit to put on a fucking shelf. Then we'd have a problem, right? But she's buying clothes, which is as close to something you can consume while still being an object as you can get. And stupid girl stuff like makeup and shit, you know. Those things aren't a problem for me, because makeup is something you, I guess, consume for reasons no one can understand, but except girls, you know. They're just always putting on her lipstick. Like, you already put it on. How can you be still putting it on again? Is it that terrible lipstick that you have to continually put it on all the time? With your little mirror that you have? I mean, but you know, again, I don't have a problem with girls doing stupid girl stuff. My own daughter does stupid girl stuff. That's what girls do. They do stupid girl stuff. Unless they're lesbians, in which case they're sane about that, usually. Some of them too do the same stupid girl stuff. They like have more than one soap. You need exactly one soap. It's good enough for your body and your hair, and you definitely don't need anything else, okay? You need one soap. But Delilah, I tried to get, I did my best to make my own daughter not like dumb girl stuff. It did no good. She's as makeup crazy as they come. And she's super smart too, and she still likes dumb girl stuff. So I don't know what to say about it. It's just a girl. Anyway, I don't have a problem with girls liking dumb girl stuff. That's what they do. I do have a problem with them purchasing decorative objects to put on shelves. That's not okay, because then you're just saying you're inviting clutter into your home for no reason. Why do we have that object? I don't want it. I don't like it. Go away. See, this is a manageable situation because this is the only conceivable way I can have a mushroom tantrum right now is if I cannot find my guess what. Anybody want to play Eric Can't Find His? We should have bingo cards. We should have bingo cards for Eric Can't Find His. If your bingo card has cigarettes on it, well, you can check that one off. I couldn't find my cigarettes, but I found them now. That's not the point. Eric Can't Find is not the same thing as Eric will never find. That sometimes happens, but you'd have to wait too long for that to be a bingo thing. The problem with Eric never finding something is that it takes too long to be on a bingo card. It's a great joke. Yes, okay. Alright. Who has his glasses on their bingo card? You can put that one down too, because I can't find my glasses, which is why I'm having to sit this close to read what you're saying. Let's see. I'm naming my band the Dog Whistles. That's a fantastic name. That is such a fantastic name for a band. See, when I was further away, I thought you were wringing your hands, not naming your band. I wonder what CJ is wringing his hands about. So I should go closer to see. But turns out you weren't wringing your hands about anything. You're probably wringing your hands a little bit about that, though. If you could smell it, you'd really be wringing your hands. Lizard worship. That's my favorite religion now, all of a sudden. Lizard worship. I wonder about the people who decided to worship lizards of all things. Well, guys, what do you think we should worship? We worship lions. We worship those big buffaloes we wanted. Someone's like, no, we should worship those lizards. Someone else is like, can you remind me why we're worshiping animals? Because they're gods. I already explained that to you. Oh, right. Okay. All right. Now I get it. We just have to figure out which animals are the right gods to worship. Those people over there, they think it's horses. That's why they're going to hell. But we got it right. It's actually lizards. Horses are bad gods. They're like the evil gods. Lizards are the good gods. Okay, so how do we worship him again? Well, first you find a lizard. You walk up to it very slowly. And you lie down for it. Oh, lizard! You're so fucking great. I love you so much. And that's the world concluded that the lizard worshipping people of South New Guinea were officially the world's dumbest people. Oh, lizards. You're so amazing. You're so amazing that if your tail falls off, you can grow a new one. If my butt falls off, I don't think I can grow a new one. But here's the thing. What you think is a feature, I think is a bug. The problem is, it's not amazing that your tail grows back. It's bad that your butt keeps falling off. You know, that sounds like an anti-polar solution to things. I know, I'll make my butt keep falling off. Well, what if they grab you from the front? Well, that's where I see from, so they're less likely to grab you from the front. Okay, you win the argument, lizards. Having your butt fall off easily is a good thing. Lizards. Animals that are famous mostly for how easily their butt falls off. Oh, I didn't realize my butt was going to fall off all of a sudden. Now I feel really dumb for making fun of lizards. Lizards are like skunks. It's a terrible sounding idea that surprisingly works brilliantly, you know. What's your defense mechanism? My butt's gonna fall off easily. That's a defense mechanism? What's your defense mechanism, Scott? I gotta like you, thank you. It's equivalently dumb sounding approach to things. I think the lizards have a much worse defense mechanism than the skunks do, though. Skunks are much better at being Tiffany than lizards are. I guess it's because skunks are mammals and lizards are just reptiles. Which again brings us back to the curious question of why did the lizard worshippers choose to worship lizards? Well, okay, here's a good reason. Maybe they were one of those tribes of people who like to have flies land on their face for some reason. Or they must like it, or else they'd shoo them away. But instead of that same tribe, they have, well, it's easy to see why they do this, because if they're dumb enough to worship lizards, then they're dumb enough to do this. They decide to let the flies land on their face, but they don't want them there. But the way that they get rid of them is to let lizards climb on their face and eat them. But see, then they should be lizard thankers, not lizard worshippers. You shouldn't worship something that does a job for you. You should thank it. That's why I didn't end up worshiping the handyman. I also didn't end up worshiping the gardener. Oh, but I did like them both. But at least now I understand why the lizard worshippers worship the lizards. Because they were dumb and worshipped something they should have thanked for eating flies off of their face. We got flies on our face again. Anybody got any ideas? Well, if we lie very, very still, maybe lizards will come over here and eat the flies. That's a good plan. So anyway, while you guys have been chatting over here, I figured out why people worship lizards. See what a genius I am? I can even figure out why those people worship lizards. Imagine some proud Native Americans on horseback. A stereotypical tomahawks riding up to the peak of a hill and proclaiming, "We are the lizard worshippers." What would be interesting is if the person they were saying that to was somebody who had in their arms a terrarium with a pet lizard in it. Would they find it offensive? Or would they think he's a god for taming a lizard? Hard to say. he's even more powerful than that lizard? And they all get down from their horses and prostrate themselves on the ground before you. And the guy's like, and guess what? Check this out. He pulls down his pants. He pulls out his butt cheeks. And 2 new ones grow back immediately. And it's like, oh my God! You're so powerful. How can anybody be so powerful? You're more, you tamed a lizard. Your butt cheeks grow back. Oh my God. I gotta run home and tell the squads and kids. Squads and papoose. Listen, you wanna come over to our TP? Well, sure. Do you have peyote? Absolutely, we got peyote. We've also got mushrooms. And anything else that naturally grows, because we haven't figured out how to plant things yet. Fantastic. We also haven't figured out how to distill things. No problem. I brought my own pint of whiskey. You have a lizard in a terrarium. You have butt cheeks to grow back. And you have your own whiskey? Well, you're definitely coming to our TP now. I wish you had a handle. Well, actually, this is just my personal pint. I've got 6 handles hidden behind my back for you and all of your Indian peoples. And they're like, well, we've never tried it before. And the terrarium guy, the lizard, whose butt cheeks, we're gonna name him Jeff, okay? Jeff, I have to keep calling those things. Jeff says, you are going to love it. I can tell. And they said, well, how can you tell? I said, because you guys worship lizards. And it correlates very strongly with liking whiskey. I said, we may not have figured out architecture, planting, or how to stay in one place, but we do understand correlation. It's like woke society is celebrating these people who didn't figure out how to build houses, who didn't figure out how to plant things, who didn't figure out how to stay in one place. Like, it's a good thing. It's a good thing in the same way that being dumb is a good thing. I mean, fantastic. We're all dirty and eating buffalo over a fire. That's not a good way to live. That's a terrible way to live. In a teepee, following animals around so you can shoot them, you know. And then having wars with other people who are also doing the same stupid shit. Like, no, you idiots should be following animals around. You should be telling them where to go. Let's follow these animals around. Why would you think animals would be good leaders of people. Shouldn't they be following you? No, really, we don't follow them around though. How will we shoot them with our bows and arrows? Never mind, you just keep on doing your stupid shit. Or then, so we have to kill whales. Why do you want to though? You could go to the supermarket and buy a steak. Or then, so we have to kill whales. Okay, go ahead. I want to assure, just inform you, I don't know if you care about this or anything, but there's a lot of food that tastes a lot better and it's a lot easier to get that's available to you, and you're brand new by driving a brand new truck to the store and purchasing it. By driving your brand new truck that you got with Canadian government money for free on your free land that you own now, magically, even though you never acted like a landowner before, you couldn't wait to follow animals around. Go to the store and buy a steak and some potatoes with all this free money the Canadian government's giving you. But I forgot. Oh, so we got to kill a whale. Well, go for it. You're also morons who don't know that whale doesn't taste good and that you shouldn't kill a whale even if it does, because killing this gigantic ocean mammal for food is insane. That's like the worst thing, the worst food imaginable. Like, nothing about a whale says, I am food. Peacocks scream, I am food. I cannot believe peacocks are not extinct. I cannot believe that humans haven't killed every single one and eaten them all. They must not taste very good, because nothing could possibly be easier to hunt than a peacock. I'm not just talking about around here where they're tame and they're used to not getting shot at. I mean, their whole MO is to walk on the ground and peck things and be big birds. Well, my butt is acting like it's offended at me making fun of lizards. You seen the all-white peacock? No, I haven't seen it lately. Because peacocks have their own territory. Each of them has their own territory. So the reason Peter is our peacock, because this is his territory. Like, he sleeps in the street, in a tree across the street. And I see him in the morning if I get up early, I see him there in the tree. And then he flies down to our yard, and we feed him because he's our one peacock we feed. As a homage to my mother, basically. And he's our friend now, so. He gets to be an exception. He's the one peacock who doesn't deserve to die. I've already informed Rachel that, because the peacocks keep expanding their territory, right? Like, they started out just in the Arboretum. Then they conquered the immediate neighborhood surrounding it immediately because there's not that many cars and lots of plants and stuff in the neighborhood, right? And full of houses that used to have like big lawns and vegetable gardens and stuff. Now it's a little bit less like that because there's more Chinese people houses, which is like, oh, I have an acre? The house should be 0.99 acres. But anyway, they're expanding their territory. And California's laws about them are based on the idea that they live at the Arboretum, basically. The LA County Arboretum. You may not molest or bother in any way any wild population of peacocks in California. You can't shoot them. You also can't shoo them away. Of course, my idiot ESTJ former realtor Janet tried to tell me not to feed the peacocks because it's against the law, as she shooed them away, which is also against the law. And didn't listen to me as I said, I'm not feeding the peacocks, I'm feeding this peacock. I will shoot every other peacock I can with my air pistol. She had no problem with that's also against the law, right? She only tried to use the law part for the part that she wanted to happen, and then just ignore it as a justification for anything the rest of the time. It's like, if you're going to use it once, you have to use it for everything. That's why my reasoning is better. It's a stupid law, I won't obey it at all. And regardless, laws aren't why I do or do not do things. I won't do anything unjust, and it's not because it's against the law. And I won't obey any law that's unjust, and it's not because I care about it being illegal. Or put it this way, if I do obey an unjust law, it's just incidental. If it's an unjust law it affects me at all, then I will actively disobey it every time. My bucket list includes bedding a woman of every psychological predisposition. Sun sign only. That makes it a reasonably short list, you know. Like you can bed 12 a month a chick from born every month. If you incorporated all of astrology, you'd have to bed infinite number of chicks. Like there are infinite additional things to consider. More stars in the background and where they were placed, and more stars. You know, it's like astrology is insane, obviously, in part because it lets you do that. It lets you create new yeahs infinitely in order to get the answer you want. That's exactly what people do. They go, well, the reason astrology is so right about me is because I'm nothing like my sun sign or anything else, but it's because of my rising whatever and my conjunction of whatever and whatever, right? It's like, well, there's infinite possible things to look at. Then you can, in fact, find the ones that describe you. That's correct. That's true. You can do that. And to think that astrology means anything is not the correct conclusion to draw from that. But I do trust Rachel's intuition. When Rachel uses astrology to accomplish something, I'm not going to question her methods because I don't understand them. But she also doesn't use them as justifications for things, right? She uses them to tell me where to move, not why we should move there. All right? And I don't question her methods because I'm not looking, I don't care how she gets her job done. Her job is to tell me where to move. It's not my job to tell her how to do her job. This is not her job to tell me how to do my job. The thing is, she's doing something correct with astrology. She's trying to make a decision with it. The incorrect thing to do with astrology every single time is to try to explain something with it. Seems like that's the theme of the month is distinguishing between appropriate context. Like, what was making me mad before was that this two-level mistake people make all the time, which is they make assumptions in the wrong context to make an assumption, and then they make the wrong assumption. This part's irrelevant now because they've made an assumption where they shouldn't be making assumptions. There are plenty of good places to make assumptions, and plenty of instances where you definitely should make certain assumptions. But being able to distinguish between where to make where a context in which you should make assumptions and what kind of assumptions you should make versus a context where you should not make assumptions and what kind of assumptions you especially should not make, that's not something people are very good at distinguishing between. Like, people are very bad at it, in fact. So, well, I mean, they're very good at it unless they're dealing with me, right? So the correct assumption to make is that I don't mean what I say. I'm like everybody else. And that I don't care about what I say I care about. I don't know how to communicate properly. That's the correct assumption to make in general, right? But that's the wrong context in which to make a decision is when you're engaging, to make an assumption is when you're engaging with a specific individual. You shouldn't make the assumption that a specific individual is going to be anything other than that individual. Because you never actually deal with an average person, you only ever deal with specific individuals. And individuals are not first and foremost members of groups, right? They may choose to identify with groups, become members of groups, etc. But that's their business. Groups is the individual's business, not the other way around. I don't know where I was going with this, but I had some point, I'm sure I was planning to make with, I know I had that this was an analog, not the actual thing I wanted to say. I already said this stuff about assumptions, and although I expanded on it and did a better job this time, but this was just an analog for what I actually wanted to say. But I don't remember what I wanted to say, what I was talking about or whatever. Oh, I remember. Where the peacock lives. He lives in a tree across the street. And the full amount of his territory is that house's front yard, this house's front and backyard, and next door's front and backyard, and across the streets from their front yard. That's the entirety of his territory. He never goes anywhere other than those places. So that's why I haven't seen the white peacock in a while, because wherever its territory is, I think it's male, is not somewhere I drive often, even if it's very close to me. It's not between me and where I want to go. You know what's hilarious? Whose house? I don't know exactly which house it is. Don't care to find out or whatever. But I happen to know that Vienna lives on Panorama. I drive up and down that street all the time. That's like, so if the white peacock lived on Panorama, I would see it every day. Just make sure you use astrology for the correct reason, because you've got really good intuition and you're using it to make a decision. Don't use it to explain things or people. And don't use it at all if you don't have really good intuition. I mean, if you're an INFJ, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. But Rachel's an INFJ, so she never tries to explain anything to me with astrology. It's a terrible way to explain things. She'll hide that she's using astrology from me, but forgetting that I won't try to tell her how to do her job. I'm not interested in how she does her job. There's nothing that interests me less than micromanaging. I find it insane, right? You do your job, I do my job. I don't tell you how to do your job. You don't tell me how to do mine. Right? It's the only sane way for anything to ever happen. But I get that Rachel's accustomed to people not understanding that, and so is playing FE prevent defense against something she's not sure. It's hard for her to believe that I understand that, you know. I do understand. I also understand why it's hard for her to believe that I understand it. is because like even when the outcome was terrible, we both did our jobs right and didn't try to do each other person's job. And the reason it had an outcome that was terrible was because it required someone to do a job that is neither of our jobs. What should we prioritize? So she was correct in her intuition from the outset about her neuropathy being both permanent or semi-permanent and being caused by whippets. Okay? Which is remarkable given she's got 0 SI. But also, I was correct to not listen to her. My intuition was right. It just turned out to be wrong, right? It's like my understanding of things assumes no NI, but has plenty. So it's like, okay, I'm going to try to figure things out. I'm not going to try to know things, right? So and then what happens is after I figure it out, I correctly know that that's the correct figuring it out. That happens unconsciously, automatically, right? So, so I figure out that we had one party with some drug interaction that caused this serotonin syndrome. I correctly diagnosed her before the doctor did, right? And I was right about that. And I was correct in my intuition that a cluster of symptoms, including neuropathy and serotonin syndrome, various symptoms from that, right? That since they ensued from one night of partying, that intuitively there's no possible way that this cluster of symptoms include symptoms that are from two totally distinct and unrelated drug injuries, right? That was the NI correct conclusion to draw about the situation, right? About the SI realities, about the actual facts of it. That was the correct intuitive conclusion to draw. That there's 0 possible way that now that I've successfully diagnosed what's the problem here, a drug interaction event between DMT and SSRI, right? Before the doctor did, and the doctor was wrong at first about that, and I was correct about it, that this additional symptom of neuropathy doesn't also link to that. It must link to that as well, right? Because Rachel had a whole cluster of various symptoms, all of which link to that, except that one, right? So it was the correct intuitive decision to make. That it could, in fact, it was the correct conclusion to draw. The one piece of information we could conclude for sure from all of this data was that whippets do not cause neuropathy. At least that they did not cause Rachel's neuropathy, that Rachel's neuropathy is unrelated entirely to whippets. That is the correct conclusion to draw, right? What job did neither Rachel or I do? A job that's not ours, to know what we should prioritize, which is Rachel's health and my well-being and various other things. I wasn't convinced that whippets caused, I was correctly not convinced that whippets caused neuropathy, because also I researched it, And there's basically one doctor saying, but I made a mistake of researching it on Google Scholar, like a sane person, right? And researching it and actually figuring out that they do have no good justification for this claim, right? None that withstand scrutiny. The one thing that I found that was sort of convincing, when I actually read it carefully, it turned out that she could have had neuropathy caused by at least 3 different things articulated in the guy did a good job of being honest and then drawing the exact fucking way wrong conclusion from the data he honestly presented. So, of course I didn't believe it. What I should have done, instead of researching things on Google Scholar, it turns out, is go to Reddit. But, I mean, I can't blame myself for researching things on Google Scholar. So, you know, it's like everybody did their job properly. And I was correctly not convinced that whippets caused neuropathy until I did so many that I gave it to myself. The problem is, I'm high mileage tires. You can drive all kinds of drugs through my system and my tires show very little wear. Rachel is low mileage tires and has no SI and correctly intuited that I would be correct about this, which I was, except the sensory world is not. And it turned out, incidentally, even though doctors can't explain shit and therefore I don't believe them, you know, and that I don't trust SI, right? I don't trust people's anecdotes as evidence. I trust my own experience as evidence, though. Once I got neuropathy, I said, oh, you were right the whole time. Whippets do cause neuropathy. That's proof positive. I know I'm not getting neuropathy in any other way than this. And even then, I tested it, and I gave myself much worse neuropathy, and proved that yes, in fact, the one box, after all those whippets, right, that last box of 50 really made me convinced, because it made my neuropathy, it was very minor, much worse. That last box of 50, that was months after I had stopped, too. I just needed to confirm for sure that whippets actually caused neuropathy by giving myself much worse neuropathy. But of course, I'm Eric, high mileage everything, right? My neuropathy has mostly gone away. There's a little bit left of this thing where if I put my chin down to here, it gets a little bit of electricness. But at first it was terrible. It was just like every time I nodded, I get this thing going on, right? But high mileage tires, I'm Eric. I can do a lot of drugs. I can get over shit like this, whatever, you know? Rachel's not me at all, but she's also her, so she kept doing whippets the whole time with me. And you know what's amazing? Neither of us should feel bad about it because we were both correct. Just turned out, it's like, this is the difference between making the right decision and thinking making the right or wrong decision is the same thing as evaluating the outcomes. You know? We made the right decision, we got bad outcomes. That's life sometimes. Life's like poker, you know? Unfortunately, one thing that Rachel and I are terrible at is knowing what to prioritize. We shouldn't have been making decisions in this instance. We should have been prioritizing Rachel's health and well-being. But that's not our job to know that, right? I'm going to learn it after the fact and remember it next time, right? That there's an issue of any kind of drug we're going to try. I'm going to both research it on Google Scholar and look it up on Reddit. And make sure it doesn't conflict with any of the things she's currently on and a bunch of other shit, right? Because I'm trying to get Molly, and she won't smoke DMT anymore. So like, we decided we prioritized the right thing. It doesn't matter if she can probably get away with it once we try it. She got away with it a bunch of times without any problems before one night when we went there to really, like, let's hit it as hard as we possibly can. Then, and so again, I had even more reason to assume it was safe at that point for her to do DMT because she had had a bunch of successfully without any problems doing DMT before. I didn't get that, but see, I didn't research the right things, so I don't know what to prioritize, right? So what I should have researched was how serotonin and the SSRI interact with her brain over time, rather than what I did research, which was a bunch of inconclusive. The smart people were saying that, the dumb people were not justifying themselves. So yeah, I mean, in that instance, I blame myself. I should have realized I was asking the wrong question about something like that. That's the kind of thing that I was fine researching because I was interested in it for a personal reason, and I chose to research it and learn about it, right? Rather than having information about real estate forced on me by circumstances. I normally wouldn't want to learn about medical stuff, but it's fine if I want to learn about medical stuff, right? And it doesn't really matter why I want to learn about it. But in this instance, it was because I wanted to make sure it was safe for Rachel to do this drug, which was actually surprisingly insightful of me, considering it's not my job to know what to prioritize. But I can tell with my family now, at 51, you better care a lot about protecting them. But at the time, this is before my dad shot himself, remember? It's like a year before, so. So it was remarkably insightful for me at the time, actually. But regardless, I was researching whether it was safe for her to do DMT and while she's on these drugs, because the doctor couldn't tell me the answer, because nobody asked him the question before, right? And there's like zero research on it, and he, like me, that's why I picked him, is saying he's researching things on medical journals, not Reddit, And it's like it's too new a question for medical journals to have meaningfully addressed, right? It's too new a question. But one thing I should have learned by now, experts aren't experts on drugs. People are. It doesn't matter whether you're smart or dumb to tell me, well, I was on those drugs and I got serotonin syndrome by smoking DMT. I should be smart enough to know that. But I'm such a debate coach and so practiced in researching things in the way that, to find evidence that matters in an argument, that I forget that this isn't an argument, right? This is our health, and it's about drugs, and the only people you can trust on drugs are people, not experts, right? I don't need to make a case. I need to find out what's going to happen. You know? The best way to find out what's going to happen when you take drugs is to ask people who've taken those drugs. Right? It's not a good way to find out what's going to happen when people take drugs to research it in medical journals. I should have known that, at least. That's the thing. Okay, so that's what I'm mad at myself about ultimately, is that I just now realized how to research drugs. And that, well, mostly I'm mad at myself for not recognizing that I wasn't making a case here. I was doing something else, right? I should be able to recognize the difference between context where you make a case and context where you do something else. I'm constantly criticizing other people for not doing that, right? And I failed to recognize I should not have been making a case. I should have been doing something else. But the thing is, at the time, that was prior to this insight, this period of time when I have focused on how, well, no, it wasn't, because I had that argument ahead of time for the whole stupid theism argument. Anyway, it's like I forgot. It's like it's so dumb I don't even bother remembering why I have that argument in place. It's like people arguing about God. What a stupid thing to do. Oh, I'm sorry, kitty. Unless, are you toast? No, are you Capito? Oh, you showed me out, darling. That's an ISTJ cat for you, right? She wants to come in. It's raining outside, but she's effing poor, so it doesn't occur to her to meow. In contrast, Trouble is civilized, as I say, like me. He tries to solve all of his problems with words, especially ones that are not supposed to be solved with words, such as his nose running. In my case, my nose running, or in his case, coming up a fur ball or something, which he refuses to do. That's I polar. He just a few times and it's like, no. I told you I didn't like that. Probably isn't even aware that he doesn't like it, and that's why it happened. And he's just like, no, excuse me. I'm sorry you had to see that. That's probably what it really means. Because, yeah, I'm saying after all. So he probably just doesn't even notice it. Just is like, I don't know why that happened to me, but I am sorry you had to see it. I don't know why all of a sudden, like, made these weird faces at you, but I'm sorry you had to see that. I'm surprised he actually has fair hairballs, because even though he's a long-haired cat, he spends very little time cleaning himself. Like 1, 2 legs. Fuck it. He's a dirty cat. But, it's like, Rachel and I both are very disappointed if he's not sleeping with us. Like last night, he thought I was mad at him about something. I don't remember what it was. I don't think I was actually mad at him about something, but I was mad at something, and he thought I was mad at him. And I was mad at Rachel for not getting up and dealing with Capilla. is what I was mad at. But anyway, he thought I was mad at him, and so for pushing me too much to the edge of the bed. So for the rest of the night, he went and slept by Rachel's feet as far away from me as possible to punish me. The thing is, of course, if I'm feeling mad at Rachel, you know that the circumstances are all wrong. That's what you know. I'm mad at Rachel because she's so SI polar. She orders packages she's not SI polar, but SI unconscious. She's SI 8, which is worse than polar in terms of consciousness. Which is why it's impossible for me to tell anybody what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do something, I'm not going to say it first. I'm just going to do it, right? This happens every time I do something. It's just all of a sudden I'm doing it. And eventually it's done. I notice when somebody makes me stop doing something. Like, I can't get an answer I want. I go, now I'm never going to get anything done. Because I just realized I was doing stuff. I realized while I'm doing it too, I said, like, I'm getting shit handled, but it's like, I still think it's somehow, I have to tell myself that I'm getting shit handled to actually get shit handled. You know, it's like, that's that unconscious. Anyway, she's so SI unconscious that she doesn't get the idea that I need to practice. I mean, if she gets this, I told her, but I need to practice. I haven't phrased it the right way. That's why she doesn't get it. I have to practice hating this house. I should have phrased it like this. I have to practice this not being our house. And you ordering stuff to this house is a way of making it our house for me. And that's why it bothers me. I'm not bothered by you buying clothes. I am bothered by you. I am not bothered by you receiving packages. I'm bothered because you're interfering with my ability to make this not our house from my heart, you know. Like, I've been practicing not calling this home, but the house, or this house, or that dumb house, or various other things that are not home, right? And one does not get packages delivered to some dumb house that's not home, right? And so that's why it bothers me that she keeps getting packages delivered here. But I did not know that was why that bothered me until right now, because one thing I am on mushrooms is insightful. I'm terrible at everything else, but I actually get more insightful on mushrooms, I think, than when I'm not on them. In part, it's because I spend so much less time listening to anybody else, right? But anyway, so the point is, I did have that argument available to me at the time, that you should not mistake situations in which arguments should be made for situations in which you're doing things, right? I had that available to me at the time, and I made that exact mistake about doing drugs of all things, which I should be an absolute expert on. So it's like I should be an absolute expert on the debate mistake I made, and I should be an absolute expert on the thing that we actually did, which is drugs. And I still fucked it up somehow. So, fuck me, you know? That's all I can say about that. That's what I'm mad about, though, not the fact that, because now I can't, well, I mean, now I can only be mad at me. I wasn't right. And I was wrong at the worst possible spot, the frame level. And I had the capacity to know better, and I should have known better. And it's like I'm a professional debate coach. I should. So now I have no excuses at all, except I guess I know what my excuse is. I was arrogant. That was the problem. I was arrogant and conceited and wanted what I want and forgot how I need to always be correct and true, not what I want. I was arrogant and I fucked up royally. That's exactly what happened, you piece of shit. Don't you dare try to let yourself off the hook one bit anymore. Retract everything I was saying before about I made the right decision, blah, 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 blah. Because I did exactly what I keep yelling at everybody else about, right? I was wrong up here. Nothing else matters after that. So, Eric, you stupid piece of shit. Hello? What the fuck's going on? What are you always talking about? You fucking hypocrite. You can't justify anything if you're a stupid fucking hypocrite, Eric. How fucking dumb could I possibly fucking be? I sinned where I should not have sinned and irrelevantly made the wrong assumption. See, here's the thing. It only matters if you're correct, right, true, whatever, up here at the top. If you are, then that protects you all the way down. You could be wrong everywhere, all over the place, and it protects you. Because it'll invalidate everything that's wrong, and it'll validate everything that's right. So every wrongness, if you're right up here, is subject to diminishing returns. If you're wrong up here, everything underneath is the opposite of diminishing returns. I don't know what that's called, but every wrongness gets, instead of being an advantage where it's easy to determine what's wrong and what's right, it's the opposite. It becomes ever more, the wrongness is magnifying, and all bad impacts happen, right? So the only thing I'm supposed to be truly a genius at is right here, okay? And that's exactly where I fucked up. Thereby creating a scenario of the opposite of diminishing returns for all harms underneath the frame. That's why she's got such bad neuropathy, that she no longer feels confident to go hiking or else she'll fall over, right? The opposite of diminishing returns is increasing takeaways. Yeah, well, okay. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but that's not the word I'm looking for. I am reminded of some element of the word, which is runaway. Like runaway greenhouse effect is an example of what I'm talking about, but it's not the name of the thing. It's not the name of the concept I'm talking about. You know. Anyway, the point is, runaway greenhouse effect is an example of the thing I'm talking about, but not the name of the thing I'm talking about. And I'm not sure what the name of the thing I'm talking about is, but I'm quite sure it's not increasing takeaways, although that is the opposite of diminishing returns. So here's the situation. I asked the wrong question, and I apologize for that. You correctly answered the question I asked, and I appreciate that very much. That teaches me to phrase my questions better. And now Rachel's dream of becoming an NFL wide receiver is dead. What a fantastic joke. That is absolutely spectacular. I love it. Well, at least you can admit you fucked up and try to make it up to the person. Yeah, well, the first part, for sure. But after the comma, not so much. The thing is, what I can do is tell you the truth. That's what I will do all the time. And the truth is, I had all that I needed at my disposal to be correct, and therefore expected me to be correct. You know, it's funny. It's like I felt like I had done nothing wrong at all, which I hadn't, as long as I was correct, right? But because then I made the right decision, and you don't measure the quality of decisions based on their outcomes. But it turned out I made the wrong decision because I fucked up exactly where I'm the absolute expert at not fucking up. I can't blame real estate for this one. I can't blame anything for this one but exactly me. So I tell the truth, you know. Making up to people, that's another question. Although I do think I figured out Rachel's birthday present finally. She doesn't want to stay here. But she's so cool that she's like, oh, we shouldn't waste money. Well, you know what, Rachel? We're just going to also have the hotel for the rest of this week. We'll have this house for the cats. And, you know, you or I or both of us, as you see fit, will sleep here. Or neither of us, as you see fit, will sleep here with the cats. But we will make sure that if it's raining there, I will make sure that if it's raining, even if you don't want me to, which I seriously doubt would ever happen, but that I will be here to make sure the cats are inside, and I just had to carry my laptop back and forth to the hotel, and it's fine. It's a better solution than just having this place, which mostly makes me mad, you know. So after all, this isn't my house anymore, in my mind. I don't want to be here. I can't move in here at all because that's the whole point, is I'm moving out of here. And I don't like this house, in part because I've spent so much time practicing not liking this house. Cameron wants to solve my problems with very, very good and practical solutions. Why I'm sitting in a comfortable chair rather than this horrible chair is exactly because of Cameron. You know? And he brought us these soft things to lie down on so we could lie down in here so we could maybe watch some TV in here. What a wonderful friend. While lying down, you know, so I don't have to move this back and forth, right? But here's a better solution. I want to watch TV. Let's watch it at the hotel. Karen would say that's a terrible solution because it's a huge waste of money. He'd be right. It's a huge waste of money. And I should be careful and preserve money, blah, 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 blah. All those things are correct. But Rachel doesn't like it here. She wants to be in the hotel. So, there's the end of that discussion. If it were just me, I would just be here and suffer and save the money. But it's not just me. It's me, Rachel, and the cats. And the only person who really matters out of those four is Rachel. Because she won't be wrong about me, herself, or the cats at the level where it matters most. Right? She'll be wrong about herself. She won't be wrong about me or the cats at the level where it matters most. And therefore everything after that is fine, right? It always is. Everything's always fine after that. As long as you're correct at the top level and you know where the top level is, what you're the top, you have to be correct at all that top level stuff. After that, everything's fine. Because the top level defines everything for you. It tells you what you're doing, why you're doing it, everything. Everything that matters, all the important questions are all solved by the person who solves the top level. They're the one who protects you from being wrong. They protect you when you are wrong. You're still right. Because you made the right decision, right? Because the top level is to make sure you make the right decision and doesn't worry about the outcomes. Making the right decision it has to not worry about the outcomes to make the right decision. And the top level ensures that all decisions are made in the right way. By defining everything that matters. I feel like ex-NTPs often beat themselves up for not having always accounted for everything or something like that. That's not even really their job anyway. No, it is my job. It absolutely is my job to be correct at the top level. And then I don't have to worry about everything else, right? Because remember, the top level defends everything. Makes every wrong diminishing returns. It makes every correct the opposite of diminishing returns. And that's if you're just measuring them on impact. If you're measuring them on statuses, it invalidates every single wrong and it invalidates every single correct. So it is my job, literally, I'm a professional debate coach and was for decades, to be correct at the top level about everything, and then nobody else has to worry about being correct, right? If I can get people to listen to me about what's correct at the top level, then nobody else ever has to worry about being correct about anything. Because all the mechanisms are put in place at the top level to make that phenomenon I'm describing happen. If I'm wrong at the top level, then I'm not done my job. I've failed to do my job completely. I've done the only thing in the world I could possibly be mad at myself for in this situation, which is failing to do a job that I know I had the tools to do, that I also know I had all of it. It's an ethical problem, not a moral problem. Like, it was not really an ethical problem because the point is, as a professional debate coach, and not just a professional debate coach, but like one of the absolute best, there's no excuse for me making that mistake. So how can I do anything but blame and fire myself? If it were a job, I would fire myself because there's zero plausible excuse for it. When I thought I was correct, of course, I'm not going to be mad at myself at all for whatever outcomes, because you made the correct decision. Sometimes you don't get the outcomes you want. Right? That doesn't mean you regret the decision. But if I was wrong at the top level, that changes everything, right? Now I regret every decision because it was the wrong decision. And it was wrong specifically because I was wrong about what explicitly my only job to do, which is be right about that. So, of course I'm mad at myself. Now, Because it's like the difference between I'm not mad at myself for shooting my dad because I didn't shoot him versus I'm not mad at myself for shooting my dad and I did shoot him. You know, it's like a huge difference, right? Of course I'm not mad at myself for shooting my dad when I didn't shoot him. And of course I am very angry at myself in the second circumstance. It's like I'd have much more excuse if I accidentally shot Rachel. Because it's not my job to be good with guns. I don't know what the fuck I was doing playing around with one or near her. But it's also not my job to know what to prioritize, right? So I wouldn't be nearly as mad at myself if I had accidentally shot her, as long as I didn't, like, kill her, obviously. But something like I shot her in the leg or something. Which she probably wouldn't feel because of the horrible neuropathy that I gave her. Now, it turns out. I might as well have, it's the same thing as like a professional forklift driver accidentally dropping a bunch of bricks onto somebody. It's your job to not drop those bricks onto people. I had the job of a lift up bricks guy with, you know, I already said what his name was. What's it called? Who cares what it's called? It's like a forklift, but it's got a big scooper on it. He lifts up a bunch of bricks or something. Why would I know the names of stupid things like that? I don't know. But anyway, the point is, it's exactly the same thing. I don't expect me to know how to lift up a bunch of bricks with one of those stupid brick lifting car things. Because, and so if I drop a bunch of bricks on somebody, well, why did you make me lift up bricks with this car? I'm totally unqualified. I don't know how to do anything. There are people walking by. The only reason I'm doing this is because you forced me at gunpoint. I'm terribly sorry that I accidentally dropped big bricks on that lady, but that's your fault, not mine. This is my fault, and not anybody else's. Because I, in this instance, am a professional, trained, and certified driver of one of those brick picking up things. It's my life's passion as well, to pick up bricks well. I had everything at my disposal to pick up these bricks well. I was bright-eyed and sober, cup of coffee, looking around, making sure nobody was nearby, picking up bricks. And then I dropped them onto somebody. There's absolutely zero possible excuse for it. It may have been an accident. That just makes it non-criminal. It doesn't make me any less liable lucky she loves me. She could sue the living shit out of me. Of course, I'm lucky my dad loved me because I actually don't own anything. You know, that's the beautiful part. I'm suit-proof. I don't own anything. This isn't my house. That other house up there in Mariposa is also not my house. It never will be. I'm entitled to own things legally, but I don't want to. The reason I don't want to own things or be in charge of large amounts of money is because I'm bad at that. It's best that my daughter be between me and large amounts of money. Because you know what I'm really good at? Advising my daughter what to do with her money and telling her when to give me some of it. I'm very good at that because guess what? It's not my money. If it's my money, then I just stupid with it. If it's her money, I'm never going to be stupid about that. That's her money after all. My daughter's money. I'm not going to be stupid with my daughter's money. My beautiful, precious angel daughter's money. I'm only stupid with my money. So, here's a smart thing I did. Originally, I was going to tell Delilah to Zal me $50,000. Then I realized, no, have Rachel get $25,000 and you get $25,000. That way, when you're broke, Rachel will still have $20,000 left. Yeah, that was pretty smart of me to realize that. It's not like I like spending money either, right? It's just I don't like not getting what I want when I want it. So I don't want to maybe drink a non-alcoholic beer that I bought in a six-pack and brought to my room, I want to go down to the bar and order it there and tip that lady that I like. That's why life's expensive for me. It's not because I buy expensive things. It's because I buy things in expensive ways. I always prioritize convenience. Not always. 80% of the time. No, that's not accurate either. I can't give you an accurate figure on what percentage of the time I prioritize convenience. I'm sorry. I know you're all desperately waiting for it. I'm beginning to think maybe the lizards are gods that I've angered somehow by making fun of them and their tails. Because what is my butt doing tonight? What does the bartender look like? She's some lady with like, I don't know what she looks like. Who cares what she looks like? She looks like some lady with brown hair. I don't know. What she look like? Why would I keep track of that even? Like, what do people look like? What possibly, how is that information useful at all? The only possible use is, it's like, I would have had to say to myself, all right, look, someone's gonna ask you how this person looks. So you should look at them and gather information about that in order to answer this person's question later. If you had told me in advance that you wanted to know what she looked like, then I would be able to tell you better. But you forgot to tell me in advance that you were going to want to know what she looked like. Sounded a little wet. Well, I made the lizards angry. I made the lizard gods angry. I mean, she's 24, so of course she's attractive. But not my type at all. You know. I like girls with kind of big boobs, you know. So, a lot of times if you ask me the question, what did the girl's boobs look like? I'll be able to tell you the answer to that question. I can tell you very clearly what the girl's boobs looked like at the mushroom store. They looked ample and dramatically on display. And of course I am a man, despite being Eric. And so, of course, I tipped her a little better than I probably would have otherwise, right? Oh, I see. You want me to not be evasive about this stuff. You want me to tell you the truth. Well, that's reasonable. I do tell the truth, but, you know, I don't like being asked questions that I don't want to tell the truth about. Because then I have to be evasive or tell the truth. I don't mind being evasive. It's not my job to do your job for you. Right? If I phrase things in a way that is not a lie, then I'm fine. And if you don't catch it, then you're good for me. But if you're going to catch it, then, well, bad for me, because now I'm going to have to tell you the truth. I don't know if that's the case, but I'll take your word for it. I mean, I've not looked up that question before. How much percentage of the earth is water? But anyway, the thing is, yeah, I also know that it's not carbonated. So it must be flat. That's how you know the earth is flat. Because it's 70% water and none of it is carbonated. Amazing. I'm assuming you didn't come up with that, though, right? You must have heard that somewhere. It just seems too. It's a low-hanging joke fruit that's been too long available. So, and somebody must have come up with it a while back, right? But it's great. It's fantastic. I like to, yeah, I do. Well, because the thing is, I really like, one of my favorite things to do is analyzing joke structures. So, it's not a very funny thing to do. It's not something I usually do out loud that much. But later on, I'll be analyzing the joke structure of that. The thing is, I'm not going to talk about it now because I don't know about its structure now because I haven't thought about it yet, you know. A lot of times, I can intuit things about stuff like that right away, but joke structures are a little bit more complicated than that. I mean, it's like, if it were an obvious knock-knock joke, then obviously the joke structures wouldn't be more complicated than that, but this one is not such a joke, so it has a more complicated structure, right? What I should say is it's not a specific kind of joke that already exists, right? So that's why it's more complicated to think about a structure than, say, a knock-knock joke, which I've already thought about a structure and plenty, and I already get how it works, you know. It works like this. Knock, knock. Who's there? A person at your door. Which person at my door? Steve. Oh, come on in. That's how a knock-knock joke works. That's a great not knock-knock joke, right? There's a great not knock-knock joke about knock-knock jokes. It's a great not knock-knock joke about knock-knock jokes. It's also a great sentence. Oh no, you gotta hear this. It's a great not knock-knock joke about knock-knock jokes. It's a hard sentence to say, too. Yeah. That's how anybody who wants to share that knock-knock joke with their friends, I want you to begin before you share that knock-knock joke. I want you to say, hey, I've got a great not knock-knock joke that's about knock-knock jokes. Would you like to hear it? Knock, knock. Who's there? A person at your door. Which person at my door? Steve. Oh, come on in. And that's how you should do it. Start with that sentence and then do that joke like that. Your loved ones will greatly appreciate it if you wake them up right now and you tell them, hey, I know you're sleeping, but do you want to hear a great not knock knock joke about knock knock jokes? And they say, no. You go, cool. Anyway. Knock knock. You should pros reach out to. That's such a ENTP sentence. Yeah, I should pros reach out to. I mean, I'm being nice to you. I don't like your suggestion. ENTP 9. ENTP 8. You know what? I think I should not contact that person. ENTP 1 would say, that's the wrong person to contact. Now find me the right person. ENTP 9. I should pros contact that guy. ENTP 8. I'm definitely not contacting that guy. ENTP 1. That's the wrong person to contact. Find me the right person to contact. You lizard gods, I'm sorry I offended you so much with my jokes about your butt falling off. Now you made my butt fall off and made me the fool. Almighty lizards, I apologize so much for my hubris. Yeah, the lizard gods are displeased. They've punished me with a plague of farts. I can see them all now gathering in a lizard group and saying, can you believe this fucker over there making fun of our butts falling off? And then like one guy's like just like, let me at that motherfucker right now. Like, calm down, calm down, calm down. I've got it. How about this? We make him fart until his butt falls off. And all the losers are high-fiving. The losers high-fives. The most important part of this story is that lizards can high five, but they can't high 10, or else they'll fall over. Yeah, lizards can't high 10. They need at least 3 legs on the ground at one time. Yeah, that is perfect. Joey, was that you who came up with that idea? It's absolutely perfect. We will show him how important having a butt that falls off is. If only I had my glasses, it wouldn't take me such a hard, long time to read something. But, you know, that's why we need to make what has Eric lost at this time bingo cards. What can't Eric find? His cigarettes, his lighter, his wallet, his keys, his phone, his glasses, his mom, his weed. This time it's glasses. You have to watch the show for a while. Well, maybe not. You might have everybody just say bingo instantly. In a single episode, I'm like, I can't find my wallet, my keys, my phone, my cigarettes, my lighter, my glasses. I can't find my car. I can't find. I could very easily, that phenomenon could occur. There's one day where I'm just like, I don't know what happened because everything was just here. But all of a sudden, I can't find a single thing that I'm looking for. That's why I tell listening, everyone just all at the same time says, bingo! Like yesterday, I did this crazy thing. I lined up these 4 things on this shelf over here, this sensible place to put things. My wallet, my keys, my phone, my lighter, my cigarette. Right there. And I grabbed everything except my cigarettes. Needless to say, prompting the question, where are my cigarettes? Well, I guess in the car. He just says, well, I know there's a full pack over there. She didn't volunteer, but she also knew that it wasn't the pack I was looking for. But, like, how like a full pack? I don't know what happens all. I guess I'll just go get that other brand new pack then. That's fine. It's not what I'm looking for, but it's a fine solution. I walk in and my cigarettes are mysteriously unpicked up. I picked up everything that was there on that shelf, but I left my cigarettes there for some reason. Prompting the question, I can't find where are my cigarettes? That should be the bigger card. Where are Eric's meow? Every time Eric says, where are my meow? Where are my glasses? Where are my cigarettes? Where are my hands? Where are my clothes? I was sure I was just wearing clothes a second ago. How did I lose clothes that I was wearing? Well, I guess I did. Somehow. It surprised me. And I lose the roll Sam going to the supermarket. Surprises me, but by the time I get there, I'm not completely naked. How did I manage to not lose all of my clothes on the way to the supermarket? Good job, Eric. Yeah, there was a time that I lost both sets of keys to the car while sitting in the car. At least we had a manageable search area. I knew they were lost somewhere in the car, obviously, because I had gotten in the car with one of them, then lost it, and then got the other set of keys out of my backpack, then lost that before I served the car somehow. And then I'm like, well, now I've lost both sets of keys to the car while sitting in it, so I guess I'll just sit here. I don't know what to do now. I guess I didn't want to drive to play after all. I know I don't want to look anymore for the keys. You're addicted to cherry mango blast. Get a grip. The problem is menthol. But we finally figured out what the problem with smoking is that black people like menthols. Yeah. I wish I had them by many menthols. Help keep them safe. We need to keep black people safe because they smoke menthols, and tobacco companies are so evil that they take advantage of black people. Because you know how they are. They'll buy anything, right? If you just market anything to them, they're just like, oh, I gotta buy that, I guess. And those horrible tobacco companies are taking advantage of them by selling them the menthol cigarettes they want. So, no siree bop. All you black people who smoke menthols are just gonna have to quit smoking now. That's how much we're helping you. We expect a thank you letter, please, or at least a card, thanking us for taking care of you so well. I know that you guys aren't going to get these big words, but tobacco companies were exploiting you, okay? They were taking advantage of you. They were selling you cigarettes that had menthol in them. You're not allowed to smoke that, okay? It might make you sick, okay? Don't worry about trying to understand things, black people. Don't worry about it, because I'm here to paternalistically explain things to you. Listen, smoking's bad, and you need to quit. But you won't, at least I've forced you to smoke cigarettes you don't like. Okay? Now, do you understand how bad smoking is? I hope so. But if you don't worry about it. I'll be here to take care of you the whole time. You don't need to do any thinking or deciding. Don't worry about it. I'm here to take care of you. Next thing we need to ban, obviously, is fried chicken. All that fat and cholesterol is bad for you. Also, we are working on legislation to ban strawberry soda, grape soda, and other gross flavors of soda that black people like. Because those are bad for you. And you don't know. Because, after all, you're just black people. That's California's brilliant new law. And their incredibly offensive fucking ad campaign in favor of it. If it were to tell the truth instead of just lying constantly. No, those sodas are gross. Those sodas are too sweet. Okay? That's all right. Strawberry soda is too sweet. Just get over it already. Even I like sweet sodas a lot. Strawberry soda is too sweet. You have to have so much ice in it that why even bother? Why even bother? It's good if you cut it with like Sprite, like mostly Sprite maybe, and a little bit of strawberry soda. I'm not a huge Sprite fan. I'd rather have 7-Up, but thanks a lot, Coke, for replacing 7-Up's market with your dumb equivalency. I don't like as much. Otherwise, you're doing a fabulous job, Coke. I like most of your drinks fine. Seven Up is like a Pepsi product. I don't think restaurants should feature Pepsi products, okay? Stop forcing all of your employees to spend their whole day saying, is Pepsi okay? When people sanely order a Coke in the drive-thru, just stop pretending like you're whatever. Just stop it. You just let Coke monopolize the marketplace so that we can stop worrying about stupid Pepsi products. Nobody wants to go through a drive-thru and say, can I get a large Pepsi? It's one syllable too many. You order just Pep, you're going to get the wrong drink. You might not get a drink at all. You might just get the Pep. Is this that Pep for you, sir? You might arrive at the window and discover they're holding the whole Pep rally for you. I a number one with raw onions and a large cup. A number one with raw onions and a large olive palmer. And I want you to also hold a pepper alley for me when I get to the window. I want a genuine pep. You notice how I'm not having mushroom tendrils? The reason is because I'm doing mushrooms at the right time. I'm not trying to do things on mushrooms. Do you find SI a love-hate relationship? Well, I love it as a tool. It's what enabled me to know that it was my fault, because I can remember what I knew when, etc. When it's not doing the job I wanted to do, then it's a love-hate relationship. When it's reminding me that I haven't eaten anything or something, it's like, oh boy, I don't have to worry about something dumb like food. It's making me super grumpy because I haven't gotten any sleep. It's like, oh, why do I have to sleep? But then when I'm super tired, it's like, why do I ever have to be awake? It's like, I like winter because I don't have to take as many baths or showers. And I don't get all sweaty. I like summer because if I stay inside, I don't have to take any baths or showers. I only bathe basically. Brush my few remaining teeth when it's time to have sexual intercourse. Then both of us have to be sterile, like prepared for surgery. Rachel's like, yeah, rub her whole body over with wet naps from Kentucky Fried Chicken. Which is now exactly what I want to do. Can I get C batteries? C. Oh yeah, I mean I love eating delicious food and I love bathing in wonderful showers and stuff, but I love bathing in bathtubs really. You just take a bath in the bathtub here because it's the one thing about the bath that I really like. and it'll probably miss. Yeah. Oh yeah. We both are fully sterilized before sexual intercourse. I guess the truth is also I just like watching Rachel more than really. She doesn't really need to be that clean. I mean, you already put soap in there and wash it off many times now, Eric. I'm sure it's clean. That's sexual intercourse for you. It's one thing that defies all explanations. I spent a long time trying to explain it. Like, but why do I want to do that? I don't know. I have no explanation for you. I think it's weird that like these things cannot be explained. Sexual intercourse is supposed to be to make a baby. Okay? So, why do why men in general, keep wanting to put their penis in girls' mouths? Right? It's like it's built into us to want to do that, even though it doesn't make any sense. You know? It really doesn't make any sense at all. That's not where it goes. Okay? That's all you need to know. That's not where that goes. It goes down in that other hole down there. And not the third hole either. So, why do I want to put it in 2 but not 3 of the holes? When I should, if there were any logic, only want to put it in 1 hole. And even then, if there were any logic to it, I'd want to get it over with as quickly as possible like peacocks do. Instead, the opposite happens. It's like, I want to make this take a long time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, the point is, I don't want to make it take a long time, but I want to make it take longer than it should, the purpose of sex to get you pregnant, you know. Anyway, the point is, there's just no explaining it. I've tried for years. There's no explaining sex. It defies all explanation. But why do we want to do that thing? I don't know. I have no idea why. It seems silly to me after the fact, you know. We did all this stuff That doesn't make any sense at all. Me telling you all these various things, you responding or not according to how I want you to, It's like, why did we just do all those strange things? The only answer is because we were horny and wanted to have sex. But why is sex like that? There's no answer. There's no explanation. It should be just like, alright, let me come as quickly as possible. If there were any logic to it. It's bad tea. It's like history's worst tea, right? People have so much sex, and almost none of it ever makes a baby. It's terrible, terrible, terrible tea. That's a terrible way to get people to reproduce. That's why I propose that as a world we all agree, from now on, whenever people have sex, the purpose of it will always be to make the man come as quickly as possible inside of a vagina. There, now I made sex logical. I wonder if the rest of the world's going to agree with me on that, though. I'm guessing not. Especially, probably like 50% of the people are going to more strongly be not than the other 50%. I won't bother to check if there's any other information about those two demographics. Oh, I want both. Or some more. I want both. I want full access to all parts of mouth and throat. But I'm very gentle about it, regardless. And I also want full access to vagina. But I don't want any access to her butthole. With my penis, anyway. I'll wash her butthole. I'll even put my finger in there to make sure the inside of her butthole is clean. In the bath of the shower. Right? Because even though I'm not going to put my penis in there, it should still be clean. And, so there you have it. And that's why Rachel's butthole has my finger in it, because it needs to be cleaned on the inside. And that's so funny. I said that to them. And therefore, because the inside of her butthole needs cleaning, you know. And that's why my fingers are Rachel's butthole, obviously. Because it needs to be cleaned in there. Oh. Why else would I have my finger in the butthole? It's dirty in there. It needs to be cleaned. Yeah, well, I get you. I get you there, Horseman. One of my least favorite things to do after they're done is masturbating on speed, or mushrooms, or both. Mushrooms also make me horny sometimes, but not reliably. I guess I haven't satisfied the lose yet. Plague's done in until the end, I guess. So my butt falls off. How long have I been streaming for? If only I had my glasses. Three hours and 42 minutes. It's now 4:25 in the morning. Well, no reason to go to bed now, really. I need to wait till 6 a.m. to go to the Vaughn's Pavilions and then buy a couple cat carriers. I don't want to do this thing where I have to put together all these pictures for my mom's memorial service. I don't want to write her obituary. And I can't trust anybody else to do it, the obituary part. I should have already delegated the picture task to somebody else. It's too late to delegate it now. Well, today's going to be a pretty terrible day. The good news is, there's actually a football game on tonight. It's part of this super wild card weekend. They extended it on to Monday. What I finally figured out, took me a while to figure it out, is that only 2 teams don't have to play first weekend. And I knew the Eagles was one of them, but it took me a while to figure out that the Chiefs is the other one. Because, of course, I didn't want to look up the answer. I wanted to. Because I told Rachel there are either 2 or 4 teams that don't have to play this weekend. Only 2. And they are the Eagles and the Chiefs. Good morning, Kaiosaki. You have to do a dance to strike a midnight on every February 12th while giving me a not too soft, not too hard kiss on each of my earlobes to make me come. Yeah, that's the kind of sense sex makes. It's like a specific aesthetic of making it seem difficult. Oh, I will yawn one more fucking time. I'll yawn multiple more times. I'll also blow my nose more times. Because yawning makes my nose hurt. I'll allow for that. I don't like my nose running, but I'll allow it to run when I'm yawning. Not at any other time. That's how merciful I am with my sinuses. I'm letting them go ahead and make my nose run when I'm yawning. At all other times, though, you're going to get yelled at, nose. You're going to insist on running. I don't like it at all. Unfortunately, being fatigued is one component in being able to sleep. I knew from the outside, of course, but figured I'd wait to confirm. called me the other day, actually. Started talking, I immediately hung up on him. Why though? Because he hates me so much. Why does he hate me so much? Well, I don't know exactly, but I'm sure he has his reason. The problem with spite, though, is that you're willing to give up your own interest just to cause harm to somebody else, right? You're not really able to cause harm to me in a meaningful way. So he's just wasting his time, you know. And I'm not going to perhaps entertain him in the way I did the other night ever again. So I hide the message, you can see it. The thing is, it's not what he did, it's who he is. He's this guy that started in the other night at the hotel and has been attempting to make me mad since. But consistently failing to make me mad. Just laugh at him and, you know, embarrass and humiliate him, of course. Because why would you do something so dumb as to fuck with Eric? And he did some super hateful, shitty things the other night. Hateful things to Rachel just to try to get to me, which that's a good way to get to me, is to hurt Rachel's feelings. But Rachel's pretty tough. She can tell when somebody's being spiteful too, so. Regardless, he's just a hateful spite monkey. So, it doesn't matter what he did, it's who he is. I don't want him around the channel. I keep banning his ass, but it keeps coming back as regular, as new names to just be spiteful. Which I suppose is his prerogative. As is my prerogative to continually ban him. Oh yeah, it's the same person. Just remember here, this is hard for us intuitives. We don't need to be correct here. We need to be right here. This is my YouTube channel. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And besides, I intuit this guy's the same guy. It doesn't matter. If I'm correct, I'm right. Okay. So I'm gonna stop this stream now and maybe lie down for an hour before going to the store to get those things I need to get. Thanks for being here. Love you all, except for that guy who I hate. And have a great day. Except for that guy, have a shitty day.